History of television. History of television. Hardly any innovations have had as much impact on contemporary American culture as TV. Prior to 1947, the quantity of U.S. homes with TVs could be estimated in the large numbers. By the last part of the 1990s, 98% of U.S. homes had somewhere around one TV, and those sets were on for a normal of over 7 hours per day. The average American spends, contingent upon the overview and the season, from more than 2 to just about 5 hours daily sitting in front of the TV. It is huge not just that this time is being gone through with TV, yet that it isn't being spent taking part in different exercises, like perusing or going out or mingling. Examinations. Electronic TV was first effectively exhibited in San Francisco on September 7, 1927. The framework was planned by Philo Taylor Farnsworth, a 21-year-old creator who had lived in a house without power until he was 14. While still in secondary school, Farnsworth had started to consider a framework that could catch moving pictures in a structure that could be coded onto radio waves and afterward changed once more into an image on a screen. Boris Rosing in Russia had directed some rough trials in communicating pictures 16 years before Farnsworth's first achievement. Additionally, a mechanical TV framework, which examined pictures utilizing a turning plate with openings masterminded in a twisting example, had been shown by John Logie Baird in England and Charles Francis Jenkins in the United States during the 1920s. Nonetheless, Farnsworth's innovation, which filtered pictures with a light emission, is the immediate progenitor of present-day TV. The primary picture he sent on it was a straightforward line. Before long he pointed his crude camera at a $sign in light of the fact that a financial backer had inquired, "When are we going to see a few dollars mixed together, Farnsworth?" Early development. RCA, the organization that ruled the radio business in the United States with its two NBC organizations, put $50 million in the improvement of electronic TV. To coordinate the work, the organization's leader, David Sarnoff, recruited the Russian-conceived researcher Vladimir Kosmas-Walkin, who had partaken in Rosing's analyzers. In 1939, RCA broadcast the launch of the New York World's Fair, including a discourse by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who was the principal president to show up on TV. Sometime thereafter RCA paid for a permit to utilize Farnsworth's TV licenses. RCA started selling TVs with 5 by 12 in, 12, 7 by 25, 4 centimeters, picture tubes. The organization likewise started broadcasting normal projects, including scenes caught by a versatile unit and, on May 17, 1939, the primary broadcast baseball gammon between Princeton and Columbia colleges. By 1941 the Columbia Broadcasting System, CBS, RCA's fundamental contest in radio, was communicating 2 15-minute reports a day to a little crowd on its New York TV slot. Early TV was very crude. All the activity at that previously broadcast ball game must be caught by a solitary camera, and the constraints of early cameras constrained entertainers in dramatizations to work under incomprehensibly hot lights, wearing dark lipstick and green cosmetics. The cameras experienced difficulty with The early broadcasts on CBS were chalk talks, with the newsman getting a pointer across a guide of Europe, then, at that point devoured by war. The low quality of the image made it hard to make out the newsman, not to mention the guide. The Second Great War eased back the improvement of TV, as organizations like RCA directed their concentration toward military creation. TV's advancement was additionally eased back by a battle over frequency portions with the new FM radio and a fight over unofficial law. The Federal Communications Commission's, FCC, 1941 decision that the National Broadcasting Company, NBC, needed to sell one of its two radio organizations was maintained by the Supreme Court in 1943. The subsequent organization turned into the New American Broadcasting Company, ABC, which would enter TV from the get-go in the following decade. 6 test TV channels stayed on the air during the war, on each in Chicago, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and Schenectady, NY, and 2 in New York City. In any case, full-scale business TV broadcasting didn't start in the United States until 1947. The beginning of commercial television. They could likewise pick between two 15-minute newscasts of TV News, 1948, with Douglas Edwards, and NBC's Camel News Caravan, 1948, with John Cameron Swayze, who was needed by the Tobacco Organization's support to have a consuming cigarette consistently apparent when he was on camera. Numerous early programs such as Amos and Andy, 1951, or The Jack Benny Show, 1950 at 65 were acquired from early TV's more seasoned, more settled Big Brother network radio. The majority of the configurations of the new program's newscasts, circumstance comedies, theatrical presentations, and dramas were acquired from radio, as well, see Radio Telecom and TV programming. NBC and CBS took the assets expected to set up this new medium from their radio benefits. Nonetheless, telecom companies before long would make generous benefits of their own, and organization radio would everything except vanish, besides as a transporter of hourly broadcasts. Thoughts on how to manage the component TV added to radio. The visuals, here and there, appeared to be hard to find. For shots of information occasions, the organizations depended at first on the newsreel organizations, whose work had been shown already in film studios. The quantity of TVs being used rose from 6,000 out of 1946 to exactly 12 million by 1951. No new development entered American homes quicker than highly contrasting TVs. By 1955, portion of all U.S. homes had one. McCarthyism. In 1947, the House Committee on Un-American Activities started an examination of the entertainment world, and Senator Joseph R. McCarthy before long started to denounce against what he guaranteed was communist penetration of the public authority. Broadcasting, as well, felt the effect of this developing public, which Chase. 3 previous individuals from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, distributed Counterattack, the newsletter of facts on communism, and in 1950 a leaflet, Red Channels, recorded the apparently communist relationship of 151 performing craftsmen against communist vigilantes applied strain to advertise a wellspring of organization benefits. Political convictions out of nowhere became reason for getting terminated. The vast majority of the makers, scholars, and entertainers who were blamed for having had left-wing leanings wound up boycotted, unfit to get work. CBS even initiated a dependability pledge for its workers. Among the couple of people in TV very much situated enough and valiant enough to stand firm against McCarthyism was the recognized previous radio journalist Edward R. Murrow. In association with the newsmaker Fred Friendly, Murrow started See It Now, a TV narrative series, in 1950. On March 9, 1954, Murrow portrayed a reporter on McCarthy, uncovering the congressperson's trashy strategies. Of McCarthy, Murrow noticed, his error has been to mistake contradict for traitorousness. An apprehensive CBS wouldn't advance Murrow and Friendly's program. Offered available energy by CBS, McCarthy answered on April 6, calling Murrow the pioneer and the cleverest of the jackal pack, which is constantly found at the throat of any individual who dares to uncover communist double-crosses. In this TV appearance, McCarthy ended up being the cause all his own. In 1954 the U.S. Senate reprimanded McCarthy, and CBS's security office was shut down.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Life is Often if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.